Clabberers, how's everybody doing tonight? So let's see who we got in here. We've got Rick, we got Wayne's in there, we got Laura Lee's in there, we got Ricky and Dan and Misty joining us up here. How's everybody doing? Hope it's a little bit warmer wherever you guys are than where we are here. It's balmy 29 degrees at the moment. That's a little on the cold side for me. I'm gonna tell you. Whew. Hey, there's Amanda. How you doing? Are you guys still running, doing deliveries? Y'all got to slow down on that. Get a little time. Take a little time for yourselves on the weekend.
Hi, everybody.
Hope.
Hello, chatters and panel. Greetings.
We see senior Spike. So hopefully, Lady Lori is going to join us at one point. As a matter of fact, I did not hear anything back from her when we sent that out. So I wonder if she's still at work.
Yeah, and a note to all of our mods: do not bounce anybody tonight because we have people coming in that may or may not have channels.
Yeah, we got some folks. I invited people from my current job. I invited people from former coworkers. I got all kinds of friends I haven't invited before. I just said, to heck with it. It's cold. It's time for a little bit of fellowship. It's time for a little bit of friends. It's time for a little bit of fun. And as long as we're going to double feature it, I promised you guys the shrimp. I'm sorry, I goofed it. It's my fault that we didn't get that done. God love my wife. I clobbered her with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 videos today. Even though we have not been on every Saturday since Thanksgiving. I apologize. That was me. We talked about that last time. Me getting in a funk and needing to step back for a little bit. But hey, we got the spice shrimp tonight, as promised. Also got a couple of interesting new ones. Next week we will show a new type of stuffed squash. It's called kabocha squash. For those of you who want to look it up, it's Kabocha. It's interesting. It's different. It went down real well. Nobody had a complaint in the house. So that was a good thing. But you might ask why the stuffed squash? Why the changes? Well, my blood work came back this week, and my A1C is up at about 7.4. So we cut back on the sugar on the coffee, and it's not as tasty as it used to be. And we're going to cut back on some of the pastas and the other stuff. See if I can't get that back under control, because I don't want to end up with the big nasty D diagnosis and having to stick myself for the rest of God knows when.
Oh, believe me, I'll do it for you.
I'm sure you will, happily. Yeah. I see it now, just like MASH, Hawkeye goes, I want it in my tushy, and she, wham! Yeah.
I'll tell you, bend over.
Yeah, you'll be standing back at the doorway to the kitchen throwing darts with those syringes.
A blowgun.
See that. Hell no.
Let's not play pin the diabetic needle on the Jason, please. No thanks.
Although there's spots, I got birthmark. Never mind, we don't want to go there. Y'all don't need to know about that. I've put people in therapy for years. So
TMI.
That's right. Well, hey, what the heck. So good news is after the colonoscopy, weight's down. I'm still down about 8 pounds. We're gonna keep moving around and going on that. One of the new folks that might be joining us tonight, and if he does, I truly hope he speaks out and says something, because I'm gonna go ahead and give him a plug right from the beginning here. For those in the Northern Virginia and Eastern Panhandle areas, I want to tell you about part of what has worked well in the recent past, which is about 5 months ago, maybe 4 months ago, I started going to a chiropractor. I was having all kinds of issues and have not seen one for years.
Hey, Doris.
And got an ad on Facebook. If any of you see it, for Palmer Care in Lovettsville. He's not sponsoring this. He didn't know I was going to do this, but I'm gonna give him a plug. Dr. Harrigan at Palmer Care in Lovettsville is awesome. Started out seeing him 3 times a week. He actually got me to the point where, for the first time in years, don't laugh, I'm able to bend over and touch my toes with both hands without falling over.
Nice.
Yeah. I'm up, I'm moving around again. I can help out in the kitchen. I can help out more around the house. So if you get the chance, if you look it up, if you see an ad for Palmer Care on Facebook, it ain't a joke. It's real. They've got a fantastic setup. I can't say enough about how he works. I will say this, before any of y'all get in there that are taller, he comes up to about here on me. So
and scrawny, like he weighs
Dr.
maybe 110 pounds. So
he's absolutely wonderful, though. Great sense of humor. Talks to you while he's working with you. Listens for all those that are not used to dogs. Doctors listening, just running through. Randy, what's up? Randy's one of the guys I work with that recently relocated from up here in no man's land down to closer to where you are, Captain Cox.
I have family in Jacksonville. I hope you enjoy your time there and love every minute in that city. Yep. Jacksonville, St. Augustine's a beautiful area.
Yep. Randy's good.
Did you say St. Augustine?
Yes.
Yep.
Ooh, one of the places that I want to go see.
You go to St. Augustine first chance you get, please. I've got an aunt that lives in St. Augustine. She's not real close to the beach. She's for about as far inland as you can get and still be in St. Augustine. But she's on some land and had a horse ranch when we were younger. And I'm telling you, the territory and the weather and everything, short of a hurricane once in a while, there might not be more beautiful country in Florida than in that part of St. Augustine. So,
well, the history and everything alone is just amazing for that area.
It is. It's phenomenal. That's a place you can vacation for a 3-day weekend, stay busy the entire time that you're there, and still not scratch the surface of what's really going on in that city.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
It's awesome there.
Cool. Excellent. So how's everybody been doing? I see Doris popped in while I was yammering away. Doris, I love you. Thank you for coming in. And that lest I not use my normal greeting for you, we have Doris before us. So,
hi Doris, hi Amanda, hi Laura Lee, hi Sleepless, hi Randy.
Yeah, and the funny part is we may have another Randy coming in who's a near and dear friend of mine. Used to be part of. Let's see. I think it was my first, during the tail end of my first marriage and the beginning of my second marriage before my son came about. Used to do a thing called Guys Night Out at one of the guys' houses. Man, we did all kinds of craziness. And that was back in the days when you had to, who'd we lose? We lost Ricky. So
Richard's
he's coming back. There's a private chat message.
Okay.
Technological switch.
Gotcha. Long as y'all are paying attention, that's better than me. Notice
I got you. I can see the chat. I just can't chat on the YouTube side. But I'm watching what's going on for you.
Yep, that works. I can't do the YouTube side either, so I'll be chatting.
I got both up
if I can. And what I have learned is for whatever reason, StreamYard seems to be a second or two behind YouTube as far as posting, which is really bizarre. I don't understand why that is.
And I don't think all the comments translate between the two. I think StreamYard's more geared towards the private chat for people who are running streams and what have you than it is towards seeing the YouTube side of things.
Could be.
Yeah, so, I'm forever behind saying hi.
Ladies and gentlemen, I got to tell you, just got worse. We're down to 28 degrees now.
Woohoo!
We get any
my way.
We get any colder, I'm gonna get hard nipples.
Oh,
Send it my way. My nipple rings will stand up.
There you go.
oh God. I keep wanting to do it to him and he won't let me.
Hell no. That's painful.
I'll get you drunk.
Not only that, but it gives you something to attach me to surfaces with. No.
Well, here's the thing. I always say if you're going to have piercings like that, and I'm a fan of body art, whether it's piercings, tattoos, funky hairstyles and colors, whatever, make sure you don't date somebody that has the exact same piercings you do.
Ouch.
Because getting hooked up to your partner and the middle of things, it's just not, it's not good. It's not fun. Yes, this has happened, and I'm sorry to broadcast this here, but for those of you out there that are into those sorts of things, just be careful is all I'm saying. Public service announcement.
Approach with caution.
Approach with extreme caution.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was a public service announcement from Staples R Us. Yeah, no, the other thing that's got me afraid is, I'm still coughing junk up. My doc says it's going to be a little bit longer until I get everything done. Oh, and by the way, hon, I had her check, and it is 5 years. I don't know where you got the 7-year thing from, but it was 2017.
It was Facebook.
Yeah, Facebook was wrong. So it was February, at the end of February 2017. That I quit smoking. So, yeah.
Have those teas I've been fixing for you been working, dear?
Say what?
Have the teas that I've been mixing up for you been working?
They have indeed. They have indeed. For those of you that were not with us last time, and I know you're all here for the food porn. We'll get to it in a minute. For those of you that weren't here last time, I got Misty a combination Christmas, anniversary, and birthday present. She has been looking to get back into the healthcare field in her own unique way since having to leave being a CNA at the nursing homes. She just can't lift us 300+ pound guys anymore by herself. Took a toll on her. So I got her enrolled in a herbalist.
Yes, I do, Doris.
And I'm going to tell you what. She is banging and cramming away on stuff. She's done well on all but one. We won't get into it because she don't want to test. She's started coming up with some herbal teas. I have been given a oregano and honey tea, which actually helped my breathing.
And I gave you one of Doris's peppermint teas that she sent me.
Yep. And that I had a nasty cough thing going this morning.
Yep, last night.
It all kind of blends together. And she gave me the peppermint tea, and that actually stopped the coughing. So I'm gonna tell you what, when it comes to some of this herbal stuff, I may become a believer yet. So I'm not denying any of it, and I know if nothing else, the herbs are yummy. So
yeah, we'll see what happens if he starts sprouting different appendages and stuff, because he's going to be big.
That's going to take one heck of a regimen to get it that far with herbs.
You have no idea what this woman has planned. She's got books dog-eared in the bathroom. She's got books with Post-it notes stuck in the bathroom. Where I know she gets in there and she's just going, what can I do next? What can I do next? What can I do next?
That's the perfect time to learn something like that.
Yeah, no kidding.
I've always said you need good reading material, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, she got it in there. That's for sure. Let me tell you.
Oh yeah, like I've got ideas for different lotions for pain relief and.
I mean, think about this. Going all the way back to the dawning of mankind, when we didn't have technology, when we didn't have the internet, when we didn't have ink on paper that we call money in a financial system, whatever, we had a thing known as bartering. And the only things we had to barter were what we could use as humans from the earth that God or whatever your higher power has given us, right? So even back then, things like frankincense, gold, myrrh, peppermint, cotton, tobacco. All of these were cash crops at one era, one point in history or another. There are documented evidences in hundreds of thousands of places, most likely, of people using herbs before we had what was known as medicine.
Yeah.
Before chemicals became a thing, there wasn't anything else.
Yep.
So this has been going on for millennia, let's say.
Oh, yeah.
It's not a bad line to get into if you really want to go organic and natural and figure out what works for you in the avoidance of expensive drugs, treatments, doctors, whatever have you, if you have an issue.
Yep.
Yeah.
So,
Exactly.
Well,
Like, I don't know how many times I've been given one pill and then end up on multiple pills to counteract the side effects.
Yep.
Sure. And there's an herb or plant or root for everything.
Oh, yeah, there is.
For everything.
Oh, yeah, there is. I'll tell you what, she came up with what was that one last week? That snowball plant or something it was?
Oh, snowball bush.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Holy crow. She's just thing after thing after thing.
Actually,
I'm like, wow.
guys, look up cramp bark. That's what snowball bush is.
That's what it was.
It is good for a lot of things.
Yeah, it was. I was like, wow, okay. So, all right, now I know don't want to change directions too big. I was trying to give my son time to get back in here. Hopefully he'll be patient if he ends up in the basement because I'm not going to be able to see it. You guys let me know. But y'all came for the food board. I know what you're here for. So
yeah,
let's roll. We got 2 of them to go tonight. I'm gonna do the short one first with the shrimp because I promised you that one. It's a quickie, it's an easy, and then we'll go into the sausage and stir fry. So here we are.
If you are hungry, we suggest watching extra closely.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
If you haven't eaten yet, if you haven't eaten yet, sorry. Hashtag sorry. No, not really.
Yeah. I just wish we could do smell-o-vision because when he gets cooking, guys, oh my God.
Oh, we can. Just tell them now. Put your smell-o-vision on. You're about to witness greatness.
Okay, it's not showing, Jay.
Yeah, I got that. Sorry. I fixed one thing technically in the in the fact that I got let's try it again here. In the fact that I got myself off the headset and I'm able to use it. Let's try it again here.
Doris is smart. She ate before she came on.
I ate Thursday night and never need to eat again. I only need to look at food. That's it.
I have the one on my computer still, Jace. I don't have the other one.
Well,
did you want me to try sharing it?
Yeah, try sharing the shrimp, and I'll try fixing this.
Okay.
I apologize, folks.
While the technical difficulties are rearranged, I will mention that seafood, not SEE as in view seafood, but seafood was also a part of Thursday evening. There were lobster raviolis on the table.
Ooh, there you go. I love me some lobster ravioli.
Yeah, Carrabba's does some amazing pasta. They do actually quite a bit of amazing food. So the old man said, hey, I got this gift card sometime last year and I don't remember where. Let's go use it. And we decided we had a choice between, I think it was Carrabba's, Outback, Fleming's Steakhouse, and one other that I can't remember. I can't remember if it's Bahama Breeze or something along those lines. He said, let's just go to Carrabba's.
There you go. Hit it, baby.
There it is.
Okay, do you want me to full screen it?
Yep.
You'll have to let me know if the volume comes across.
Nope.
No?
Nope. Did you click on the share sound?
Just a second.
See
Sorry,
the
guys.
little? Oh no, that's not a microphone either. That was a shuffle button, not a microphone with a slash through it.
Uh-huh.
Lucifer, welcome.
Hey,
Hello.
Lucifer.
Hey, Lucifer.
Okay, try this again. Okay. Okay. Tell me
Hey,
when.
go for it.
Okay,
One
let
more
me know if
time.
the
Sorry
volume's
about technical difficulties, ladies and germs. Oh, have you got your mute on?
Is it a microphone with a slash through it on the right side by the pause button?
No.
Other right, all the way to the right.
Oh,
It's all the way at 100%.
All right, let me try something different. Hang on. Folks, I apologize.
I wonder if the spirits are telling us to just watch, that we don't need the sound.
Maybe. Well, it looks like I was able to do this. Let's see if I can share the sound with it.
Okay. Yep.
All right, cool. So that worked.
Disco.
All right.
Okay.
Sorry, guys. This is what happens when you go to Windows 11 for the first time. Good evening, boys and girls, and all you fun folk out there. We got such an easy one tonight, it ain't even funny. Continuing on what we had talked about last week, doing our finger foods for Super Bowl, we're going to bring one in that's a favorite for a lot of folks. Ta-da, shrimps. Yes, that's right. Country is doing shrimps tonight. Now, here's a cool thing. This is really easy. It takes 4 spices. You've got the New Orleans style seafood. You've got the Old Bay garlic and herb. You have the sweet paprika seafood. And the special one is Chef Paul Prudhomme's magic seafood seasoning. So we take and put all those into the bowl here. Once we drain and drop the shrimp in there. These are deveined tail on, but they don't have they don't have little leggies in it. And basically, all you're gonna do is take this big pot and bring it to a rapid boil. Now you need to bring it to a rapid boil because when you drop 3 bags of frozen shrimp in, and I'm letting them thaw, so but they're not gonna be thawed. When you drop it in, it's going to drop the temperature on the water, but you still want them to cook. And it doesn't take more than a couple minutes to really cook them up. You just watch them, and when they go pink, grab one out and give it a test. But once we get done with all of them, we'll drop them into the bowl here, and then mix them up so that they're all coated with some of the seasonings. Not a huge coat, it's not anything terrible. You can do again this to taste. One of the other things I may do is I may add, let's go over here to the cabinet of fun. Let's look at all the spices that country has to work with. Lots of goodies. I love it. Every time I open this, it's a great smell. But the other one we'll probably do is, you know me, we'll throw a little granulated garlic in there as well. So I'm going to have all that. And then get it all mixed together. Like I said, it's very quick. It takes a couple minutes to boil to do the shrimp. Keeps them nice and tender. And then once you get everything all mixed together, you just dish them out into bowls and start snacking on them. I highly recommend having a wet nap or some paper towels handy because you are going to get your fingers kind of gooey with doing this. But yeah, dudes and ladies, this is so easy. It's not even funny. So we'll drop you back in or pop back in when I show you that they're in the pot boiling, and then show you the mix. We're already getting to the point where we're starting to bubble here a little bit, so it won't be too much longer. Okay, we're back, and here's all the spices at the bottom of the bowl. And I know you're going, country, why are they at the bottom of the bowl? I'll explain that in a minute. Actually, it's a little something I figured out while I was playing with these one of the times that I made it. And here you can see we've added the shrimp in, and we've gone from a quick boil down to it's steaming and it's warm and they're cooking. Okay, and it ain't going to take but a few minutes. You can see how they're already turning from gray to pinkish. So it won't be too much longer before they're good to go. And what we will do is take them and strain them out of here, and that's going to get rid of most of the water. So when we take them and dump them from there into here, the rest of that water is going to go down into the bottom down here and liquefy much of the seasoning. So why is that a good thing? Well, because it's a lot easier when you go to stir the shrimp up and get it coated with everything in the bowl. It's a lot easier to get it stirred up and coated with liquid than it is with the solids, because you don't want a whole bunch of the granules and everything else in there. You want it all kind of mixed up into something smooth that goes underneath the shell and embraces and wraps around the actual shrimp itself. So when you peel the shrimp off, the shell off, you've still got some of that spice taste that's down here. Now, this is because Mama doesn't handle spices. None of this is spicy or hot. It's just like I said, the ones that I showed you, sweet paprika, Chef Prud'homme's is a combination of spices. Old Bay, I'm sure most everybody is familiar with Old Bay. Nothing in there is spicy hot. So this will make things a lot easier when we go back to mixing everything up. Let's take a look over here, see what we're at. 2-minute mark here. Oh yeah, see how some of these are already starting to turn, and some of these will do this too. You look at the backs of them, and some of the backs have popped open. There you go. There's an example, and that's okay. It's a butterfly effect that happens when you boil the shrimp. It actually is not a bad thing because for those that open up like that, it makes it easier for the spice to get down in between. Excuse me, the shell itself and the shrimp itself. So yeah, one more step in this, which is like I said, once they're fully cooked, drain them out in here, and then dump them into here, mix them up, and from there, you just pick them up, put them in a bowl. You're good to go. And there you have it, guys. Spiced up. You can see some of them got a little bit more spice than others did. But spiced up shrimp. I would say steamed, but it's so much quicker and easier just to do them in a quick boil. And somebody introduced that to me a couple of years ago, and it's amazingly fast. So this is something you can prep up for the Super Bowl at like the last minute. You need maybe 15 minutes, and it's ready to go. And put it out in a bowl, and people can either eat it hot or cold, or room temperature or whatever. It's all good. So that's an easy one for you. So there you go. That is. Let me stop the screen there. There we go. Now we're all back. So that's the shrimp assistance.
So you can probably do the same thing for the other one.
Say again.
Whatever way you got that one to show, you could do the same thing for the other one.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm going to try and do. So yeah, and again, the seafood's not for everybody. It's part of the Super Bowl series that we're running for Super Bowl snacks. I have one for next week. We're going to do a doubleheader too, because the stuffing that I used for the kabocha squash actually was good enough and worked out perfectly to work into little papusa things. So we'll show you that the next week, and then
main course and then leftovers.
Yep, and then I think we got one or two more weekends before the Super Bowl. So we got all kinds of stuff left to do.
Okay, Mary.
So I have not gone out and done the meatballs yet. Now, everybody has meatballs. The other one that I'm looking at doing, if I can find another tray of them, is for those of you that like stuff spiced and like bacon. I might do some bacon wrapped stuffed jalapeno poppers. So we'll see how that works.
Yeah, I have a problem with that one.
Those shrimp look absolutely amazing.
They every time they come out, the flavor is a little bit different each time because it depends on how you mix the spices together. But it's a great combination of four of those together. It's not overpowering. It's not spicy. But you can sit and power it down. And we have people that have come back and got second bowls, and then not realized how much.
And you can use cocktail sauce or whatever.
So it just depends.
The only thing I could recommend doing is when you pull them from the cook, dropping them straight into an ice bath to completely kill the cook. And that's something that I've seen from Cajun folks who do like full shrimp boils, crawfish, like whole on seafood things. When they go to doing these crazy boils with the Old Bay and the Cajun two-step and all those crazy seasonings, in order to kill that cook quickly, they're either dropping frozen corn or frozen vegetables into the boil, or taking the shrimp and directly dropping them back into an ice-filled cooler. And for whatever reason, they say it helps them peel easier. So
that, and it would stop them from getting really tough too.
You would think that it would help that too in the center. Yes.
All right. Yep. Well, you know what? Hey, we got a thing coming up in the spring where we're going to have a bunch of folks up here. And
the spring fling.
The spring fling. Yep. And I am quite sure that will be something that's featured. As a matter of fact, Lost Fur, are you still here with us?
I don't know.
Yeah, I know she popped in. She didn't come up on panel this time. Darn it all.
Yeah,
Lost Fur's still here.
There she is. Did you get a chance to talk to Wolf and company yet about weekends? And Amanda, I have not a boil, but I do have one that we are going to show here in the not too distant future. For those that didn't hear, I bombarded Misty with 7 videos.
She's going to ask them again, Jay.
Okay, so right now I think, oh Lord, help me if I get this wrong. I think we talked about April. Oh Jesus, was it the 15th and the 29th were the two? Was that the two?
No, 29th.
I know the 29th was one. I can't remember what the earlier one was.
Lori, can you email him the message?
22nd. Okay. 22nd or the 29th. So at this point, that's probably the weekend that we're going to target, one of those 2 weekends for the spring fling. And I am quite sure one of the things we will do during that spring fling is going to be a shrimp cook of some type, and there will be steak too. Don't even worry about that.
For those out there saying no seafood, there is a thing called chicken and sausage gumbo out there.
Yep. and I have a sausage. Sheriff had a
So
sausage.
which weekend is it that we're going to do Allegheny?
It will either be the 22nd or 29th.
Okay, so we'd have to do opposite for the spring fling.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. It depends
Yeah.
on what they say. Because after that, if we go into May, is when they start doing the other types of tours.
Yeah.
That
Doris,
they're doing
sauteed
now.
mushrooms with steak. Oh my God.
Are y'all talking about doing the Trans Allegheny Asylum tour?
Yep.
Yes.
Ooh.
Yeah.
What?
Yep. The way it's gonna work, big guy, is I'm going to rent a 15-passenger van. Losfer and I will be the cooks. Misty is going to take a crew in that as of right now, I know is going to consist of at least herself, Sheriff, and my son Nicholas.
Nice.
And potentially Wolf and Hound and Sam.
And
nice.
Wolf and Hound and Sam, and
That's gonna be
anybody else
fun.
who wants to try and come and join in on it.
I should probably send Sheriff a pack of adult diapers for that, though. Going in there with y'all? Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
He's actually he and Nicholas are actually going in as protection for Misty. So
beautiful.
Yep, I'm
beautiful.
I'm very.
I know he can handle himself.
Oh yeah. Oh, dude, and yeah. Both he and my son are. Yeah, I have no worries. So meanwhile, Losfer and I will be setting up camp for when they come out, because it's an 8-hour tour. And when everybody comes out, they're going to be tired. They're going to be hungry. They're going to be ready to go.
Yeah.
So we're going to feed them, stuff them all back into the van, let them go into food coma while I drive home.
30-minute decompression, then big plates full of sausage, eggs, and gravy.
Yep.
Yes.
Dude, I'm also doing biscuits and gravy.
There you go.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. So we'll
yeah, and then I figure our house is just going to become a sleep wherever you can find a place.
Yep.
Right. Bring a tent if you feel the need. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. We got room for that, actually. So that will work. Just no cars on the front lawn. That's the only rule, because that's where the septic field is. So yeah.
Make sure to stick an extra camera in Sheriff's hand if you can when y'all do that.
Dude, we had.
I remember a thing with a Civil War battleground with him, and spirits are attracted to him like no other.
Yep, him and Misty both. In fact, we have a number of good videos on both her channel and on Sheriff's channel. The only failure we've had has been at the trenches out by Romney, West Virginia.
Yeah.
It's the most extensive trench work that was done for the entire Civil War. It is still, they're still very much visible, although they're weathering. And there is, at the top of the hill where all this trench work is, there's a 40 by 40 fort, what's left of it, where they had 2 cannons sticking out the front, 2 out the right side, 2 out the left side, and an opening in the back where they had all the munitions and stored up. And Misty and Sheriff went their way up the path from where we parked to get into the fort. I kind of scooted ahead of them. Went over the wall that they had, split rail fence wall for it, and walked the path, kind of jogged the path that the Park Service had set up when captured all the little plaques that they had. And when I came back, circled around and came back in through the entrance, Misty and Sheriff were in the process of doing the spirit box session in the middle of the fort. I sat down with my cell phone, which had 100% before I got out of the car, because I've been charging it while we drove.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I was at like maybe 95, 92%. And sat down at the corner of one of the split rail fences at the entrance and just sat there and videoed them. And I know I videoed them for about a good 4 minutes. During time they were asking questions. It was using her old, your old, which one were you using?
SB7.
SB7. So you could hear that as it was going. And all of a sudden, everything died. Their cameras died. The SB7 died.
I think I remember you mentioning this power
Yeah,
failure.
everything
Yeah.
shut down.
It destroyed one of his GoPros.
Yeah.
Wow.
He has not been able to. He has not been able to get that GoPro to work. He has swapped out cards, batteries, components. It's fried. Whatever happened.
Something did not want to be filmed that day.
Didn't.
And all of my pictures, like I'm a bad one for
Awful.
snapping pictures everywhere I turn.
Yeah.
Every one of them had like a lightning bolt through it.
Yep. And here's the weird thing is I had maybe a minute 5 seconds worth of video. And I, like I said, I know I sat there long enough because the reason I know I was there for at least 4 or 5 minutes was because the way I sat on one of the fence posts, it took a while for it to start being a pain in the ass, pardon my French. It's not one of those things where you sat down on a corner, it was kind of one of the edges. And it absolutely killed that.
It's like Lunar Eclipse said, some energy went through it and fried it.
Yeah.
Completely.
Yep.
Completely.
So we're gonna get some different video equipment to go up there. Not really expensive stuff because I'm not paying to have $1,000 worth of stuff fried again. Sorry.
Sure.
But, we'll do it on old cell phones with SIM cards and stuff like that. And see what we can get done. So anyhow, let's see if I can rig up this the second round of food porn.
Dun, food porn round 2.
This one's a little more expansive.
Dan, if you could make it down here for that get together, that would be awesome.
I would love to take a vacation at that point if I'm able.
Yeah.
I have to see how things go.
All right, here we go. Fingers crossed.
Just give the man the volume, StreamYard. Give it to him nicely.
Cooperate, you must. You got volume?
It's not up.
You're not hearing it? Not seeing it?
It's not even up.
Damn it.
I hear it, but I don't see it.
No.
Well, why is it not coming up? All right.
I could give a response to that, but it might be a little bit too vulgar for the moment.
Yeah, it might be. Hold on here.
Yeah, you've got it showing your computer screen.
Microsoft might be having 4-letter word issues.
Yeah, I can say a few words about that. Hang on here.
That, and we're using Windows 11 now.
Yep, so it's a new thing. Hang in with us. All right.
I don't think it's you guys. I think it's the programming, the code that's in there.
Oh, I have no doubt.
I have heard from numerous sources, do not upgrade out of Windows 10.
Oh, we weren't given a choice.
No. All right, can you see it now? Can you see it now?
Mm-hmm.
We can see it.
Okay. Hallelujah, holy pest.
We can hear it too. Brilliant.
Cool. By the way, in my intro, if you guys notice, that country store says Yoakum's. And yes, it is actually owned by Dwight Yoakam up here.
Nice.
Yeah. It's on a
Good
road
old Dwight
trip.
Yoakam.
It was on a road trip Sheriff and I did. We ran across it. everybody. Well, tonight we're going to do something a little different here. I've seen us do sausages and pierogies before, so I thought I'd flip the switch a little bit. And tonight we're going to do sausages with mushrooms, sauteed mushrooms, two different types of peppers, and onion. Just to mix it up just a hair.
Yum.
Oh, yeah. A little something. We'll see what kind of comes along as we go. So let me get started on the veggies, and we'll show you what we're going to do.
Yeah, I'd like to see you and Jason in the kitchen, Dan.
That would be a very interesting shopping trip.
She's getting to the point where she'd like going shopping with me when I'm planning for these.
Yeah.
Sausages. Mushrooms up there. I'll take the nice thin slices here. It's kind of like if you doing fajitas, fajitas.
Orange bell pepper?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah, you want to try a nice sweet pepper? Try the Aloha peppers, Dan.
The Aloha peppers are delicious. Yes, ma'am.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Already?
Yes. I used to be kind of a pepper fiend. Keywords used to be.
You can never go wrong with peppers. This week. I'm gonna do one with stuffed Aloha peppers here in too long. Oh yeah.
That actually sounds really good.
Yeah.
Sausage and cheese stuffed Cubanelles or Aloha peppers. Ooh.
Yep. Well, the fun part is I'll do Misty's as a mild one. Sheriff's and mine I'm going to use hot Italian sausage for.
Nice.
Yeah.
Some with a little kick to it. Bring out that pepper flavor.
Yeah, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, Doris, he already has with that knife.
Oh yeah.
It was hilarious because he was giving me a lecture about not being using it. About me not using it because I would cut myself.
Is that one of those like super sharp plastic razor knife things?
Yep.
Second best knives on the planet, next to a katana, an official Japanese katana.
Yep.
Although I don't recommend cooking with that.
No.
That's for self-discipline lessons.
Best thing we'll do is go ahead and go rinse. We'll do that and we'll come back and start chopping for you. So, we're back. We got mushrooms. And it's real simple. All we're going to do is just cut them in half. So dump them up here.
Mm-hmm.
Makes it easier. Yes, sir. Chunky food.
What variety of mushrooms are those you're using there?
They're just regular button mushrooms.
Button mushrooms? Okay, gotcha.
It would have been really good with shiitake, I think.
Shiitakes, portobellos, buttons, they all work for stuff like this.
Yeah.
The funniest part of this to me is I actually prefer the orange, yellow, or red variety of bell pepper to the green ones for anything.
Yeah, the green ones are kind of bitter, I'm finding anymore.
Yep.
I can handle spicy stuff, and bell peppers have none of that. But for some reason, green bell peppers tear my stomach up. The rest of them don't.
Really?
Absolutely.
Huh.
And it's weird because I can eat spinach like it's going out of style with no problem. So It's not a green issue. It's just green bell peppers don't like me.
Huh.
Like if I'm making Philly steaks or anything like that, I always try to go for the orange and the yellow peppers to go with the onions and mushrooms.
I'll do the onion and decide if we're going to add anything else.
Yeah, Amanda, since he quit smoking, he's built up a new love for food.
Mushrooms done. You can see the whole They've covered everything here. I've still got to do the other two peppers. So it's not, they've covered everything. They just covered everything. From the one pepper that we cut. Two. Yum real quick.
Yeah, and those cutting mats that you can buy are amazing.
Okay.
Yeah, Doris, I do. I get spoiled.
Big one. This is sweet onion. Yeah, she used to cook a lot. Emphasis on the word used to. The other ones get missed in footprint, so whenever I'm going to use a fair amount of onion in something, try to make it a little easier on the tummy. Through. It's around like this. No. No. More.
You were going to give Doris a heart attack with the way you cut things up.
Sorry, it's the way I learned.
We'll save that for if and when Jason and I are ever in a kitchen together.
Yeah, I can see it. I can see it now, starting from opposite sides of the kitchen, doing the sumo thing.
Walk in with a couple of knives in each hand, go konnichiwa.
My kitchen food is superior to your kitchen food.
I'll make a deal with you. I'll do the cleanup and I'll run the camera.
Do you have a table out back? I do not believe this kitchen will hold the both of us. I will prep, you can cook. You
will be surprised how much we've had going on in the kitchen at one time.
We actually have a good sized kitchen here, Dan.
Oh no, I've seen some short house tours. I know.
Like that's one thing. If we ever move, I'm gonna hate giving up.
Just make sure wherever you do move, if you move, has a kitchen of comparable or better size.
Yeah.
I'm a huge fan of things like outdoor kitchens, Outback Island grills.
You don't want to get any of the peppers in. The peppers are going to cook quick.
No, that's Dan, Mary.
You don't want to completely mushy. But you do need to have some time over
right, Doris?
Get them properly.
Randy, if you see Jason with no fingers, you know what happened.
Yeah, Jason and I supply food for the potlucks at his work. That's what Randy's talking about.
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah, one of the 7 videos I gave Misty is my spicy pulled chicken.
The one that he took to the last potluck, I think it was.
Which is plain and simple, besides the spices and a little bit of liquid.
Yeah, one of the Christmas presents we got from my son and daughter-in-law are those actual meat hooks for doing pulled pork and stuff, like the bear claws.
Yep.
So.
And all that means is now I can actually scratch Misty's back the way she wants.
Uh-huh. Yeah, Mary, I really need a huge island with a plug-in. Oh, mushroom ran away.
Here, doggy.
Yeah.
That was my next question. How do you guys keep the dogs out of the kitchen when this is going on?
Oh, we don't.
They wander, but they don't jump up or anything, so they just sit there with their mouth wide open.
Smart puppies. Tail wagging and tongue hanging out. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Trimming down. The last of the keepers.
Yeah. Like a couple people have said we should start a catering business.
Put them together here, so I can sit and simmer for a little bit while we do next part. I'll be back to that.
You really could. If cooking is your passion or one of your greatest passions, go for it.
Yeah.
Dude, if I was 20 years younger, yeah, I might think about opening a place. Yeah, everything going to
Just do catered private events.
Have done that. Actually, I did my sister's bridal shower.
Nice.
Yep.
Yeah.
And did that one with Misty's pulled pork, with jerk chicken, sliders, God,
And the banana punch cake.
a pasta salad, and for dessert had owl cupcakes.
Jerk chicken sliders. Did I just hear that?
Yes, you did.
Yes.
You need a food truck in Tampa. You would make millions. Take a while, but you would make millions. That is one category that we do not have enough of here locally to support the population is Caribbean cooking.
Really?
And the ones that are here do very well.
Huh. See, the other thing I didn't talk about the spiced chicken that I did, because I didn't get a chance to get into the ingredients, was chicken, 4 or 5 jalapenos diced up, an onion thin sliced, and a can of pineapple chunks.
Ooh. Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
Is that a good ooh or a bad ooh?
Oh, that's a very good ooh.
Yeah. I brought enough back for Misty and Sheriff to have a helping each, and that was all that was left out of a 5-quart crock pot that was basically full to the brim.
That's my stomach hating me for listening to this and not being able to get to the grocery store. Ooh.
Uh-huh.
Take care, Losfer.
Be good, hon.
Don't do anything I wouldn't do, Losfer.
And if you do, name it after us.
Yes, absolutely.
Something tells me it's a good thing you didn't have a mouthful of drink at the time.
I might have. No, I was thinking of something along those lines to say, but that took care of it right there. Yeah, there you go. Doris has got it right. If you do something that they wouldn't do,
Yeah,
just don't get caught.
Here and there.
that was the peppers, Amanda.
Got peppers. You got sausage. You got onion. You got mushrooms. A little bit of garlic. A little bit of Italian. Oh, of course, you know what I forgot. Dummy me. Wait.
Listing off the ingredients and realized you didn't put one in.
Is your Italian seasoning just parsley and basil, that type of thing?
No, it's actual Italian seasoning. It's a mix.
Oregano, basil, parsley, whatever else goes in there.
Yeah.
Nice.
Next summer, I'll be making my own spice mixes because I'll be growing a lot of it.
Now this is what
It's the way to do it.
That's it. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy.
I gotta say, by looking at this, I would drop it over Sheriff's least favorite food on the planet.
The mushrooms, yeah.
Just drop it over Alfredo pasta and go. Looks epic.
This is going to be one of my shortest videos yet. All right, this is it.
Yeah, you probably could mix pasta in there.
Sausages. Dan, need to let you know that Sheriff overheard that and gave you a one-finger salute.
I would expect nothing less. Big hugs to our friend Sheriff. We miss you, buddy.
Thumbs up.
Oh, nice, Doris.
He's rummaging.
That looks really, really good.
Oh, it was.
I've got a neighbor who's Czech Republic by heritage, and he is bratwurst and sausages for life.
Mm-hmm.
I am part Czech and I am part German.
Beautiful.
So, so I will be at war with myself for the rest of my life.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
you could throw that over hoagies. You could put it over pasta.
Oh yeah.
You could even, if I was going to do something with that,
that
dish that you just cooked
with it too.
I think I would dice it up and maybe even put it in pierogies.
That is a possibility.
Mm-hmm.
That is a possibility. As a matter of fact, funny thing. Thank y'all. Thank you. Rice works too. As a matter of fact, I did last night. We have become. Hang on, I'm going to duck for a sec. I'll be right back. I'm not going to be too far. I just got to find the jar. Here. Oh. And I have begun something. Misty challenged me on this a while back. Instead of using butter and stuff, she challenged me to use coconut oil.
Ooh!
And I'm gonna tell you what. I have taken to cooking my chicken in coconut oil, and it is amazing the difference in flavor that you get. And normally a chicken breast will dry out a little bit while you fry it, okay, or while you cook it.
Sure.
I have yet, when I've used this, I have yet to have a chicken breast come out dry or anything other than juicy, where the juice oozes out while you're cutting it.
I get the same results from avocado oil.
Never tried it.
Haven't tried that.
Way healthier than olive oil, although we all know how well olive oil works in cooking.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
So, for whatever reason, the sear that you can get out of high heat avocado oil seems to lock in moisture well. And I'm guessing there's some type of a similar property with the coconut oil there.
Yeah.
I don't think it's as high a heat though.
Misty's been talking about the advantages and properties of coconut oil. Of course, we have not the one that we use for cooking. Let's clarify. We have a second jar that we buy at the same time that we get for the dogs. And about once a month, we'll give them a tablespoon or a teaspoon.
It's good for dogs and cats.
Coconut oil. And I tell you what, the dogs love it. It's fantastic for them.
Might have to try that with the kitties here.
Yep.
Maybe drop a little coconut oil on their food once a month or something.
If they have issues with hairballs and stuff, or
Romeo does for sure.
Yep.
Then it'll help.
Yeah, my big kitty definitely does. The little one, not so much. I don't know what the heck's going on with her.
Randy, I don't care to be on camera.
Yeah, sometimes, Randy, I tell you, sometimes we'll get as many as 6 people up here. My other son Ricky is eating right now. He was on right up to when we got started.
Yeah.
And I expect he'll be back at one point here. He was going to flip over to his
he's probably putting the kids to bed.
Yep, and he's probably putting his son to bed right now. He's out in Arizona, so they're a little bit behind us timing wise. Oftentimes we have Spike up here, and Amanda and Chris.
Where are Spike, Amanda, and Chris tonight? I know Amanda's in the chat.
Amanda's in chat. Chris may be running. Chris may be doing runs. Spike was here in chat earlier, and hasn't been back in. We've also had Derek in here. Lost Fur comes in on a regular basis, as does Laura Lee. Lunar Eclipse has been up here with us a number of times.
Amanda's got a question for you, Dan.
I'm sorry, what? Oh.
Amanda asked Dan a question.
Did I tell the kiddies the secret is catching a squirrel yet? No, they've already done that. They taught me the secret.
Chris
isn't feeling well.
Oh no.
I've had rabbits, rats, moles, a squirrel, and a bird left at my doorstep within the last 14 months.
Have you had one of them try and feed you what they caught?
No, they bring it and leave it as gifts from the cat domain on high.
One night, Jason had gone to bed. He wasn't asleep yet. And I let the dogs out and then brought them back in. Harley got up and pinned Jason because his arms were underneath the blanket. And he opened his mouth to tell Harley to move, and she tried to drop a live mouse in his mouth.
I've not had that happen yet, but that sounds delectable.
You don't. You would be amazed the strength and speed you will find and how fast that mouse will fly off the bed and skim around the room. And I will tell you, I'm not sure what was funnier, watching me spaz as Harley dropped it on me in bed. Watch her and both the dogs in an absolute chaotic cloud of dust and destruction around the bedroom, trying to catch this damn mouse as it went in and out of the closet, behind 3 different dressers, behind the headboard,
and into the bathroom.
Finally stuck behind the headboard halfway, and this is a solid wood headboard, so it wasn't going under the bed. Halfway, because it realized that at one side, one dog had its head pressed up against the wall looking at it with one eye. And at the other side, the other dog had its head pressed up looking at it with the other eye. So we had kind of Mexican standoff until
and in that moment, the mouse knew he had effed up.
Yeah. I don't even remember what Misty got the mouse with, but somehow she got back there and got the.
I got it in a peanut butter jar and.
I'm sitting there trying not to piss myself, laying in bed laughing at all this after I was no longer in danger.
Right.
Yeah.
I had kind of something similar go on, but it wasn't in bed. Right after Sasha came to the family here, came to Romeo's family, Sasha decided to bring a mouse in. I opened the door one day. I was going to leave to go to the store or whatever. Cat with a rodent in its mouth all the way up in the house, and I can hear this rodent still making noise. It's still, I'm like, no, you want to leave that outside, my guy. No. So eventually the cat decided that the mouse had enough and had it by the neck, and that was the end of that, and took it back outside, thankfully. Luckily, it didn't happen in a bed.
Yeah.
But I knew right then she was one of his tribe because he's prone to hunting out here. I've been asked twice by property management why there's never been a rodent complaint over in this area since I've been in here. And my answer is always, I have killers. So what do you mean? You have killers? I have 2 cats that nobody ever gripes about, that come and go as they please, provided I'm awake to open the door for them or whatever.
You'll probably find they're eating pretty much at every house they go to.
And they literally do nothing but run around here and hunt or play with each other. And it's the most beautiful dynamic between these two that I could ever hope for. So.
Wow. And I got to answer 2 things here in chat real quick. Randy, Sheriff and I, we talked about entering that chili contest. And to be honest with you, I think that the timing got away from both of us. Because I will tell you right here, I have learned more about hot sauce and hot peppers since he has been up here than I have ever known. And then I'm gonna tell you what, he's got his finger on the pulse of hot pepper combinations and hot sauce combinations that will not only bring the heat, but will also bring flavor out as well. Anybody can burn your ass, but he's got a lot of going on with the with adding keeping the flavor in it too. And Mary, oh my God, I never saw anything like that with my mom, but I can just imagine. For those of y'all that didn't see, she's talking about her mom in an orchard picking plums, and had a mouse go up her shirt, running around trying to hide in between her boobs while she was trying to get out of the tree and strip it at the same time. That is not something.
That'd be hilarious.
Yeah. Can you imagine what your mom would do? First thing she'd do is she'd take care of that. Second thing, she'd come over and cuff you in the back of the head for laughing at her.
Oh, yeah.
Well, here's a good addition to that. At least I think it is. I don't know if it is or not. If for some crazy reason I'm able to make it to Spring Fling or one of these trips, there might be some chili type of things going on with old Sheriff there.
Oh, there will be. I guarantee.
I might have to bring a few things with me that might give you exactly what you're looking for in that.
Bonus.
Okay.
I like it. Yeah.
Bonus flavors and heat and grown man tears and everything good about peppers.
Dude,
so I'll just be smart and I'll stay away from the chili.
Well, you'd probably be holding a camera at that point. I would think you might be safe.
Baby,
Yeah.
I know you don't do spicy, Misty, so I would never presume to do something as silly as go, here, try this.
I will make 2 batches. I will make 2 batches of chili. I will make a non-spiced version for the meek, and I will make a pumped up version for the bold and brave. So we'll do both. That's not a problem.
Can we add this to it?
What is it?
Don't know what it is, but maybe.
Pure capsaicin crystals.
Holy shit.
I'm game. I'm gonna tell you what, my boss, and Randy will attest to this, because I think Randy actually got to try this, one of the earlier ones, before he moved away. My boss makes a ghost chili. And I would have thought I would have had a problem with it. But I'm going to tell you what, that is some of the most flavorful, if not hot, but flavorful chilies I have ever had.
I've got a couple of tinctures that would work well in some of your recipes.
Hey,
a couple of drops, boom, game on. I mean, we're talking adding stuff like flavors like pineapple, cherry, cotton candy even.
There you go.
Along with pepper flavors. And granted, they're on the high end. They're supposed to be. They're extracts, but stuff like chocolate bootla, 7-pot primo, dragon's breath. It's just like you said, the flavors that come out of these peppers when you can get past the heat, or when you can extract them without the heat, they do things to food and good times like that. It's just unrivaled, in my opinion.
And Randy's right. Yeah, a few of the folks took a few bites of the chili and went running. So
yeah, oh yeah, it would take the little jar that you just saw that's probably still got 2 grams of capsaicin crystals in it. It would take like a wet toothpick dab to season an entire pot of chili to give it the heat.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
So
and again, you know me, I prefer to just add peppers, but if you really want to throw a shock to the system, pure capsaicin crystals are the way to go.
I will make sure to mention that one, not only to Sheriff, but also we have another friend who I have not seen in chat tonight. Gentleman by the name of Heat My Shorts.
Good old Steve from Kamloops, Canada. Yep.
And I'm gonna tell you what,
he's a heat monster.
You want to talk about a This dude has eaten stuff that would scare the hair off of you.
I've got personal experience with the after effects of those episodes with Steve, and have seen him in places that humans don't really need to go.
Yeah.
He can handle his heat, but there are some things that just shouldn't be. Yeah, no, just don't do it.
Yeah. Yep. So
Steve's a wild man with the heat for sure.
Yep. So the other thing I want to start doing is I got to find out. Let's see, whether has it. Ooh. Okay, that might actually help, Mary. I never thought about that one. Lunar says her brother takes antacids and then eats it.
Coat your stomach always.
Had not thought about that. I've drank milk beforehand and done that, and that works to a degree.
If you're going to do something super spicy, I personally recommend a big bowl of mashed potatoes.
Yep. Speaking of which, I still got, I got it. All right, one more sec. I'll be right back. I popped something back in the fridge.
Romeo, you have already eaten twice today. There's no way you're still hungry. You've had 2 entire bowls of food, sir. What is your issue?
There we go.
Kitty.
For those
freaking cat.
For those who haven't tried it, and I will give them. I don't give food manufacturers kudos much, because I like, even though I combine stuff that's packaged sometimes. But I tell you what, Bob Evans prepared mashed potatoes. I'm gonna tell you, going into my colonoscopy and then coming back out of it, that was absolutely wonderful stuff to eat. And you can throw all kinds of stuff in there. You can throw in butter. You can throw in bacon. You can throw in scrambled eggs with it. You can throw in just about anything. We got a camera up. Hang on, folks. I know this is going to thrill Doris and Ms. Mary. So yeah, you can put sour cream on it. It's there's all kinds of stuff. One of the things I did, and y'all may think it's crazy, but I took some steamed broccoli and also a little bit of the Totino's liquid cheese, like you do for scoops and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Chili queso type thing.
Dribbled some of that on it, and yeah, it was good.
Broccoli, cheese, garlic, mashed potatoes. Yum.
Yep.
Yum.
Absolutely. So let's see if we got any activity tonight, because we always try and give Misty's camera a little bit of time on the show.
Well,
see if we have any orbs with us. Well, hello there.
oh my God, it's so pretty.
Now, is that one of Lori's kitties?
No, that's Romeo.
Okay.
And this one is Sasha, but she don't like to be held.
Oh wow, she's pretty.
She's a cat's cat, not
Randy,
a human's cat.
What's in the tanks are frogs.
Yep.
I have tree frogs.
Froggy.
Yeah. Randy, this house became a an animal safari about 2 years ago. I don't know when I lost it. I don't know exactly how I lost it. But somewhere Misty turned into the zookeeper, and I'm sitting on the sidelines.
You lost it the
everything.
day you got involved with me. You just didn't know it.
There is this thing, this innate human need known as companionship outside of the human form.
Yeah.
And that's why people love animals.
It does sound good, Doris. Doris is making
animals like me.
Broccoli and cheese.
They come and find me.
And Dan, I wouldn't say that Misty's Big Frog Ghost is really a a fan or a companion for her right at this point?
Actually, Randy, no. If anything, I would say I definitely swing towards the carnivore.
Yeah. Randy, let me explain to you real quick. When I make steaks here, for most of the house, I will start cooking the steaks, and they'll be anywhere from medium rare to medium well, depending on who's here.
Yes, actually, frog legs are really good, Randy.
Yeah, Misty, on the other hand, I'll take and turn the grill up to high, make sure that that it's heated up to about 750 degrees. Drop her steak on, take a sip of beer, flip it, take a sip of beer, flip it again, take a sip of beer, flip it again, take a sip of beer. So she's got cross marks on it. Pick it up, dust its ass off, and drop it on a plate. She eats her steaks in a fashion we call blue rare, where about the only thing that's not happening is they're not mooing.
Seared, but rare.
Yeah.
Good way to go.
Well, I have a problem absorbing iron in pill form, so I have to get it out of my food. And steak is one of the best sources of iron you could find beyond broccoli and that.
Yep.
But if you cook it beyond rare, it loses the iron.
You lose all the vitamins and minerals going out. Yes, ma'am. Yep.
Oh, and by the way, self-promotion time. If you haven't done it, please hit subscribe and hit the like button. I am trying to get to 100 subscribers so that I can change the damn link to something that makes sense on YouTube instead of the gobbledygook they got it now. Yeah, smack it on the ass.
You can change it now. You just have to download the mobile YouTube app and go into your profile. I can get you through that process.
Not downloading that onto my phone.
Fair enough.
I got enough crap on my phone right now. I have
Fair
to
enough.
save what space I have for doing my videos. So,
Fair enough. No, I remember we were talking a couple of weeks ago, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, whatever it was, about that. Might have been sooner than that.
Yeah.
But I remember we were mentioning it, and I went back and looked at it, and I was able to go and change mine again. But it was specifically, you can do it through mobile, not your computer.
Yeah.
So,
and am I doing the tags? Oh, yes, ma'am, I am doing the tags. Absolutely. In fact, if anything, you could say I'm over tagging every potential keyword I can hit. We just haven't got there yet. I think what I'm going to do is we had a lot of people up here on the mountain that are in the same boat that Randy and I were when Randy was living up here, although he was down in town. And that is, we drive anywhere from an hour plus to 2 hours plus each way to and from work, depending on how far in towards DC you go. And, we can't, up here where we're at, we can't get delivery. So part of what I do with this is, a lot of the recipes and a lot of the cooking that I show is not complicated stuff. Now, I'll grant you there are some that are involved, and it's more of a thing I would like to think that people would do on the weekends with their kids in the kitchen to try and bring everybody back together again. But a lot of this is simple stuff that you teenagers can make. So, if you've got a teenager at home, they can cook dinner, and have dinner ready, or, God forbid. And there's no real reason for this, guys. So before you all crucify me, guys, there is no reason why you cannot get into the kitchen and make basic food. Okay. I'm telling you, it ain't that hard. Unless your wife is a narcissistic micromanager who will absolutely kill you if you screw your kitchen, her kitchen up.
I'm getting over that.
Okay.
I've got a solution for that problem for anybody out there that has it. Go buy 100 boxes of macaroni and cheese and figure out 100 different things you can do with macaroni and cheese. It'll end real quick.
Yeah. Yeah, there is. And in fact, it's kind of funny you mentioned that. That's one of the first things my son learned to cook and he would vary it. He'd add, bacon or, there were a couple of vegetables that he liked, but he doesn't like them squishy. So, he'd add that stuff in at the end. Mostly it was bacon and extra cheese.
Bacon, sausage, different kinds of cheese, vegetables, varying the cheese sauce. Think about this. The point is not to really fix the issue. It's to figure the recipes and the changes and the differences out in that kitchen to occupy your time, because it takes your mind completely off of the rest of it. And if you can do something I say it's easy, but it's really not. If you can do something as easy as come up with 100 different macaroni and cheeses in a 1 or 2 year time span, think of what else you can do with all the food that exists out there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Dude, half the stuff I put together, Misty will tell you, I go stick my head in the fridge. I go stick my head in the freezer. I look at what we got and I go, okay, this is what we're doing.
Grab this, that, and that and go.
Yeah. And sometimes it's combinations you would never think would work.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Did you see what Randy put in there, Jay?
Say what? Yeah, I did. Randy, I've thought of that. I've thought of talking to him about it. If you put something in there or you make some suggestion, that's up to you. I'm not going to say anything one way or the other. Based on our social media policy, I've kind of kept it separate because I'm not always politically correct in here. This is I don't have to worry about stuff in here. I can speak my voice.
Yeah.
And be crazy and whatever else. So
the other thing that you can do that I've not seen yet, when you're titling your lives, use the hashtag food porn. The algorithm will send it out further if it involves food.
It's also going to send it out farther if it involves that other word too. So
that's true, Randy.
I can just see some of those people coming in here going, that's not what we do with food. And I'm like, you know what? Y'all need to go to the other channel. Okay.
And that's the deeper point. Let them, at least they're showing up.
That's true.
Because for every 4 or 5 or 6 knuckleheads you encounter, you're probably going to encounter 10 people that actually appreciate food.
Yeah. Yeah. And I will say, dude, I got to tell you, I have, and I will brag on them. When they are in full force here, I have the most vicious set of moderators that there is on this God's green earth.
Yeah. Yes, you do.
I'm going to tell you what, I have seen them challenge each other as to who can swat the bots faster.
Full savage food porn. Yeah.
It is amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
How fast these people are to click stuff. I don't have to worry about a damn thing.
You don't even get to see it half the time.
Let it roll.
Well, that's how it's supposed to be. As a host, you're supposed to have to go back and read the chat. Yeah, it's cool to interact, but the point of having a panel is that others can do those things for you, and that's why you give moderator privileges. So
yeah.
Well, and also I like having the panel so everybody's sitting up here listening to me drone the hell on all the damn time. I mean,
listen, as long as you got good recipes, people are willing to listen.
Well, but it's not just about the recipes.
They can take everything else in stride.
Oh, nice.
You've got a knack in the kitchen.
He gets to.
And Misty has a knack with the paranormal and with these spirit boxes, and that's the big reason why it works so well.
Randy, did I ever meet her before you guys left?
Why isn't Randy blue, by the way?
Because he hasn't got to it yet.
He hasn't got to it yet. This is his first time in. Give me a break. Wait a minute.
I'm just saying, you clearly know this individual, this Randy.
Yeah,
good people.
Well, let me.
You guys may or may not work together, whatever the case is. Give me a blue suit.
You know what, Randy? I don't remember. Did I interview you? I don't even remember if I've interviewed so many people over the last 2 years. I don't even remember if I interviewed him, but yeah, Randy worked on one of my coworkers' teams, dealing with an entirely different group of the government.
Mhm.
But he moved up here, and I helped tell him about some of the stuff that was up
Yeah,
here.
he's saying
And
you
then,
trained him.
and show him some of the places that as far as getting good or better deals, some of the things to avoid. Then he decided to up and move down to Florida where it's warmer and better climate, and took his Thai food making wife away before we even got a chance to get all of us together and have dinner together. Damn, that's my fault. That's my mistake.
Sounds like we all need to go down to the Dry Tortugas and have a cook-off.
So.
Oh, it's gonna be awesome. This get together we're talking about, it's gonna be amazing.
We're gonna have ribs. We're gonna have Misty's world famous, and I say it's world famous because people from around the globe have watched the video of her pulled pork. But it is absolutely amazing pulled pork, and she gets it.
And again, it's different every time I make it.
Yeah, she nails it every time. She does it. Sheriff and I have already talked about doing. I hear you, bud. If I could afford to find a place, and I know you're going to sit there and start to talk the real estate stuff. Don't do it yet. We have looked everywhere I have looked that is deeper in West Virginia, and I don't want to go where there's more people. I want to go where it's quieter. I want to go where it's more, I don't want to say isolated, but I want to go where I've got space and I don't have to reach out my window and hand a neighbor a beer and not step out onto the grass.
There you go.
And we have that here. Let's not get that wrong. We have that here. I have an acre.
Yeah,
here.
but we're fast losing that.
But the whole thing is I'm greedy. I want more than an acre. I want somewhere between 5 and 10 acres. If I can get more, I'll get more. God forbid, some schmuck up in Maine won the damn lottery instead of me here. But if I hit the lottery the right way, we're going to get a nice big place, and we're going to have fruit trees. We're going to have a big old honking garden going. Misty's already got half the equipment she needs for canning. Good Lord willing, and the creek don't rise, we'll get the rest of the stuff this year.
And I'm wanting to do the herbalism, so I need more area to grow stuff.
We're dehydrating herbs now and vegetables now. So the whole idea
sounds like having a countryside farmland is your ultimate goal.
You're there. The
funny thing is, Dan, when he met me, he was a city boy.
Yeah, I was.
But all city boys are country boys at heart. They just don't know it yet.
Yeah, that's true.
You're right. Here's the thing that has killed everything so far. Every time we found a place that was semi to very workable, the internet is screwed. We have to have at least 150 megs download in order to be able to remote in, and I can't get that with these places. Most of the ones
they're too remote for good Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
That's why I live close to a big city.
Even the satellite, I've looked at Elon Musk's satellite service,
the Space Link.
Space Link, and even that's not sufficient. To get in. So, damn it. So.
Randy's correct. There is no state income tax in Florida. We do pay a sales tax, but I'll pay that 7.25, 7.5 cents on every dollar, as opposed to paying thousands of dollars to the state after giving the government X percentage every single time before you even see it. So it's short of that and family. That's why I'm still in Florida. That's why I'll stay here.
Yeah, well, I've got it rigged.
So what are the seasons like though? Like how hot does it get?
And everything where
summer's brutal.
I should not see any more. I shouldn't have to pay the state anymore once we get past this cluster that we're in right now.
Yeah.
And get that taken care of. I should be getting money back from both state and federal,
Good.
which is
Yeah,
Beautiful.
you got to remember something. If we move to Florida, Amanda and Chris are going to shoot us.
well, yeah.
No, they're not.
Yeah, they will.
They're going to join us, not shoot us.
Dude, they are not prepared to handle that kind of heat.
It's only
that
for
drive.
30 or 45 days out of the year.
They're not prepared to handle that heat. Okay. Let me tell you a little something about my missus. First year Misty was down with us. We're having weather like this, and she's out on the back patio underneath the 2-story deck at my mom's where we were staying the first year that we were together. And she's waltzing around in a pair of shorts, a tank top, and no shoes.
There you go.
Okay. I'm going out bundled up like Cool Runnings. Okay? You know, I got every stitch of clothes I got on. I got the damn duffel bag on with the little zipper over the face going, thanks, Coach. You know,
Did you push the bobsled too?
Yeah. She's out there looking at me going, pussy. All right. So here we come. We buy the place up here. We get through. It's been 3 major snows up here. And I say major. One was 12 inches. The reason I call that major is it happened 3 days after we bought the place. And all we had was my Ford Focus, basic shovel, and very basic.
You were not getting off the mountain at that moment. No.
Okay.
No.
We have a over 100 foot long driveway and 1 snow shovel. All right. We can go nowhere. So the second one was 20. Yeah, feel the rhythm, feel the rhyme. Get on up. It's bobsled time. The second one was a 24-inch snow, and we had both of us had no. Actually, I still had the Focus. Misty had a 4-wheel drive Suzuki Grand Vitara. And we still had issues getting out and around after a little bit. And then the big one,
that was almost
on the other side of the mountain where the office is, they got 24 inches. Flip it, we got 42 inches up here. And I'm gonna tell you what, for those of you who don't understand that, let me tell you, I'm 6'1", 6'1.5", and 42 inches of snow comes up over top of the belly button. Okay.
And nobody thought that maybe it was the perfect time to go golfing.
Dude, let me tell you this. Let me tell you how that worked. We had a neighbor up the road and down the street a little bit from us. On a good day, it's maybe a 5-minute walk with the dog. On this day, it took 45 minutes, but I have a scanner app on my phone, and the scanner went off for somebody up around the corner who was having trouble breathing. Now, we have a lot of older folks up here and younger folks. It's a good mix. But the concern was that they might be either A, asthmatic, or B, having a heart attack because they were trying to shovel the snow. Oop, who did we lose?
I just dropped the camera.
Oh, you got the camera. Okay.
There's nothing going on.
No, it's quiet tonight, though, which is really weird. No, go lay down. If you want to show people.
Oh, I haven't done a spirit box in forever.
No, you haven't. We might do that. We got a few minutes left.
I gotta charge my speaker and all that before I do anything.
Okay, well then we can't do it tonight. Then that won't work. Go lay down. You're being a pest.
Oh, come on. We can sit here and rap about food and snow for another hour.
Yeah. So anyhow, I called up to emergency services on the mountain and told them, I said, hey, I've got asthma gear. Do you know if it's an asthma attack or anything like that? They're like, of course, due to HIPAA, they couldn't say anything. So I said, I tell you what, I'm around the corner. Where you guys are, there is not a snowball's chance in hell you're going to get to us anytime soon. And they didn't. It took 9 hours, and they broke 3 vehicles to get here. they finally showed up. Yeah.
That sounds about like 42 inches of snow.
Well, I'll finish that part up in a second. So I took off down the driveway, loaded my gear up, took off down the driveway, had a walking stick with me, which I instantly regretted. And my neighbor was working on shoveling across the street. He asked me what was going on. I told him, and together we started walking, making our way down the street. Now, walking is not the word. Say it was more like wading through the snow down the street.
Wading or skating or something. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I fell once. And for those of you that are Brad Williams fans, if you don't know, Brad Williams is a little person.
The little person comedian.
He's a little person comedian. And Brad talks about being in New York when it snows a foot in a day, and how he's concerned, and everybody else is going, it's just a foot. And he's like, fuck you, it's more than a foot. So he straps one of those bike flags to his back, walks around. Well, I can tell you right here, right now, when you fall in 42 inches of snow, there's no pushing yourself back up. There's no getting your knees under you. You are bent over a hump of snow, waiting on someone to whoop your ass with a cane. And there's not much you can do unless there's somebody there to help you stand up.
Yes, you are now waiting in between steps 1 and 2 of building an igloo.
Yeah.
So I will say this: if my neighbor across the street is watching, Chris, thank you. So it took 45 minutes. A 5-minute walk took 45 minutes to get down the street, around the corner, up 2 houses, and into the house. We get down there, and I'm not going to tell you what was going on. It was an absolute ridiculous, lame, stupid thing that they should have called back and said, just let her go through it. They didn't. Like I said, they broke three plow trucks to get down here. The way they finally showed up was in one of those street graders where you got tires at the front and the back, and you got an angled plow in the middle of it.
Yeah.
I'm talking one of them son of a guns that's like 10, 12 feet tall.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So that's how they got down here to go get her. And the emergency services vehicle that came to get her was a 16-wheeled water tanker truck. Which is
and it took them 8
it's a tractor trailer. That's all the wheels on the back are dualies because of the weight that's involved with that. And this is the tanker truck that they use to fill up swimming pools and also use to support the trucks when they come up here to fight a fire at somebody's house because there's no hydrants.
And that truck is lucky it made it there and didn't hit any black ice too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I thought 2.5, 3 feet, whatever it was, when we came back from Hawaii as a kid to Indiana. I think I've mentioned this before, but we went to visit my uncle in Hawaii over Christmas one year. I was probably 8 years old, give or take, getting ready to turn 8, something like that.
Yep.
We left with short sleeves, jean shorts, swimsuits to go to Hawaii for Christmas. Came back and immediately regretted our decision because the plane was delayed 3.5 hours getting onto the runway because that particular year it happened to get cold and actually snow over the holiday. I spent 20 minutes getting from the end of our like 50-foot driveway to the garage door to take the key. And I don't mean the garage door, hit the button, open it up, drive the car in. I mean the man door. The human door with a key in my hand because I was the smallest person that could get through the snow the easiest at that point.
Yeah.
And that was with family. And that was probably the coldest, least fun experience that I think I've had as far as snow goes. So
now let me ask you, when you did that, did you do it freestyle or were you doing the breaststroke?
all of the above, every bit of it. I effectively had to use my small, just under 4 foot frame at the time to dig a tunnel and go find the man door to open it up, to try to open the garage door from the inside where the button sits on your wall. Because Dad sat there for 15 minutes hitting the button going, well, I guess the snow's too tall. I guess this is too much. Who's getting us into the house? I had to go retrieve shovels, try to get the door open, all kinds of madness. So I feel your pain in that experience.
Yeah. So the long and the short of that is at this point, now we get down to 50, 40 degrees, and Misty goes, shit, is it cold? So my big bad snow baby has just turned into a big bad baby.
Sounds like Misty wants to live in Florida, where it only gets to 40 or 36 a couple times a year.
Only problem is you guys don't have mountains down there.
No, we do not. No, this is well, we have mountains, but normal people call them hills.
No, dude. What you have is you have inverted mountains. They call them sinkholes.
Those exist too. I will not deny that.
Okay. I have no desire to build my house on a piece of land and then wake up one day and be going out the front door, climbing up out of the cave to get to the car to go to work.
That's why I live in a camper, because if it needs to go, it needs to go.
Yeah.
That, and you guys get something called a hurricane there.
Yes, we do. They're not nearly as terrifying as like hardcore snow and ice storms and tornadoes. Because you know they're coming well enough in advance to get the hell up out the way if it's going to be that bad.
Yeah, and Randy will tell you here, they can't predict shit here.
No.
It's funny, and it's not their fault. Before I get pounced on everybody, it's not their fault, because you have the weather from the West Coast and up in Canada swinging down across the north, and it comes all the way down, into the eastern panhandle in Northern Virginia here, where it meets the Gulf Stream and the jet stream.
Yeah. And there's no telling what it's going to do with the atmospheric conditions until it happens. Yep.
Yeah. So
they can kind of predict it and tell you, hey, you're about to get screwed, potentially. But it's not like a hurricane where they go, well, this thing's going to be here in 3 days. You might ought to move. It doesn't work that way.
Yeah, no, they basically, they break out the big, magic 8-ball and go, future is uncertain. Great. Speaking of which,
it's going to get real cold and windy. It might rain or snow. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Well, there's a Category 5 hurricane coming at you, and you've got 3 days to get out. You pretty much know at that point something's going to happen, because that snowstorm's going to change as it encounters the boundaries and the atmospheric things that go on.
Yeah,
I'll take arguing with a hurricane any day over the rest of the country.
Yeah, and the humidity is bad up here, Mary, but it's not nearly as bad as it is down there. So yeah, you're right. I would definitely have to do a trip down there during the summertime. But it's kind of funny, because that's what we call the DC shuffle. Is in the summertime it gets so hot down and so uncomfortable down in Florida. All the Floridians haul ass up here, and then it gets cold up here during the wintertime, and they all go back to Florida, where it's
all the snowbirds come back south. Yes, sir.
Yeah. It's the great East Coast migration.
I'm born in DC, so you're 100% correct. The DC shuffle. That's exactly what they call it.
It's hysterical. And Randy had posted something up here a little bit ago I want to touch on. Talking about the snow. Yeah, it is one of the funniest things. When I moved here from Chicago. Okay. And I am one of the few people that can honestly look at my kids and say, I walked to school through 2 feet of snow.
There you go.
They don't close schools up there like they do down here. But I moved down here, and we came in on the leading edge of a snowstorm, And apparently it was bad enough where we had people abandon cars on the highway that runs around the DC metro area called the Beltway.
Yep, the Beltway, absolutely.
Part of which is on a bridge called oh shit.
That's not what it's called.
No, and this is a terrible thing. Folks, don't get old. You have words that come here.
It is a nickname for it, though. I remember it. It's the oh shit bridge.
Yeah, and the words can't go from here down to here. It's not the Woodrow Wilson, it's the other one. The drawbridge. Help me out,
I'm going to
guys.
draw a blank. I was 4.5 when I left that area.
Help me out here, Randy. Somebody help me. Help me. I can't remember the damn name of it. Oh my God, that's terrible. Anyhow, they're abandoning their cars on this bridge, and it's as I said, it's a drawbridge, but it's not one of those ones that goes like this. It's a platform that goes like this. So some of these idiots where they drop their car or abandon their car is half on and half off the platform. Well, things were so bad it took them days to get all the cars dug out. Well, the cars may not have been going around, but there was still traffic going under on the river, and there's literally shipping that goes under that bridge. I think it is the Woodrow Wilson Bridge, come to think of it.
It might be.
I think that's what it's called. Anyhow, they actually had to lift the bridge for one of the ships to come through, and people's cars boop, straight down into the Potomac.
Right down into the Potomac River. Yeah.
And then they charged the people that owned the cars.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh yeah. Of course they did, because we can't pay for this. You shouldn't have been there at that moment.
So,
You
it
should have known better.
me, but one of the things I had to realize, and I didn't realize, was that because the central government's here, the federal government's here, because we have so many different military bases around here, we have a migratory group that comes in and out and shuffles every so often. And it had never occurred to me, having lived in Chicago, that there were people that had never seen flake one of snow. And it's funny up here now is you see people that have never driven in snow get on the Beltway or the other highways and whatnot, and they're in a four-wheel drive vehicle and they're like, oh, four-wheel drive, I have no problem.
Black ice said otherwise. Yeah.
Well, it doesn't even take the black ice. It just takes a good curve with them driving at a certain amount of speed, and you get around, a couple minutes later, and here you see the blinkers with the ass end of the car sticking up out of a ditch.
Oh yeah.
And it's
absolutely.
Like, yeah, there you go. So,
yep.
No, getting back to the original thing, I would love to find, and ideally, I would love to find roughly a 2,000 square foot house on a well and septic with 10 acres of land and enough of internet to be able to support everything. And even if it's mostly wooded, hey, you know what? I got no problem with that. We'll crack out the chainsaw. We'll have people come out. All I got to do is tell people, hey, free wood. All you got to do is come cut it and haul it. And we've done it with the lot next door. My neighbor.
If you can haul it, you can have it, kind of thing.
Yep. Yeah. And we'll keep some of it too, because I guarantee you, whatever else we get into, we're going to set it up where we have a flat top, even if it's small, a flat top wood stove, because when you lose power, at least that way you've got a way to heat the house and cook. So, it's kind of funny. People don't take into account to be self-sufficient like we used to. Everybody's gotten to the point. That's another reason why I do this channel. Is everybody's gotten to the point where they go and they hit drive-thrus, fast food, takeout, delivery, DoorDash, Grubhub, and I'm not downing any of that. These are all good services, and in some cases they're critical services for people. So I'm not saying anything bad about that, but we've become reliant on that. We don't cook anymore. We don't grow things anymore. We don't raise food anymore. As a whole, we have farmers who are giving up on their properties because they're being paid not to grow food, which is about the most bass-backwards thing I've ever heard in my life.
And nobody has thought about what happens if the whole internet goes down one day, which it inevitably will. What is the rest of society that isn't self-sufficient going to do when they're not farmers? And look, I'm guilty too. I live in a tiny little thing. I'm not quote unquote self-sufficient in that manner, but I'm halfway prepared for something like that to happen in this area. You know, like what are you going to do when that goes down? Can you still go to a store that's close enough to you? Can you do anything to feed yourself? What have you?
No,
people don't think about things like that.
I'll tell you exactly what's going to happen, and it's you know, it's been a big thing, you know, shown on like Walking Dead with all the zombie stuff and all the rest of it. It is fine. It's Hollywoodized, but it's some of it is not that far from the truth, and that is you have all these cities with everybody who's stacked on top of each other, and there's no infrastructure to support if you can't truck food in.
Exactly.
There's nowhere to grow it. So what's going to happen is, you know, if the fit hits the shan, you know, and you know, we've got government problems as it is, you know, but if the fit hits the shan and everything goes to hell in a handbasket, you know, the first thing that's going to happen is people are going to start fighting to the death over supplies and scraps.
The zombie apocalypse will not be a resurrection of the dead because some virus gets loose.
No.
The zombie apocalypse will be what happens when everybody starts that war for those supplies.
And we have complete total chaos and anarchy, you know. So it's And Doris, that's it. Is, you know, you not necessarily, it's great you're in a farming community, and that's ideal. You know, but you don't even have to be in a farming community. You just have to be in an area where you can raise some of that on your own. I can't do, because of my allergies, I can't do farm animals. Misty, on the other hand, can. So I can do a lot of the gardening and the work with the fruit trees and you know, other stuff. She can handle the farm animals and deal with that. And yeah, the Amish are the ones, I'm telling you right now, that have the leg up on all of us. You know, because they can still make and do things old school style, you know, that we've forgotten about.
That's a huge community with a lot of land ownership.
It is.
Tons.
And a lot of ability to take care of themselves. You know, so that's another reason why I want to be away from the cities is, you know, I don't want to be a part of, and I don't want my family to be a part of that chaos when people start running out of supplies and start shooting each other over a can of beans. No thanks. No thanks.
Hopefully humans have learned enough the past decade or so to where that doesn't happen. However,
it will.
However, being prepared for that is critical to your survival.
It is. It's not even, and before people go, oh, it's a bunch of preppers talking. It's not even that. When you live urban and you live outside of a city area, you have to be prepared, not for the zombie apocalypse, although that doesn't hurt. You have to be prepared for the regular things that happen. For example, bad storms. We get a lot of rain up here for several days, and then get a big wind gust or a big series of wind gusts that come in, and it will knock a tree over, which oftentimes will take the power out. Okay, well, what do you do when the power's out? You have to be able to have water, a way to cook, a way to clean, a way to eat, a way to be able to use the toilet, and all the rest of that stuff. And you have to have that, and you have to think about that stuff. What do you do? How do you prepare for that so that your family, some people have generators. As I understand it, there's a government program. I haven't found it yet. When I do find it, believe me, I will post the living hoo-ha out of the URL.
Generators aren't going to mean a damn thing when the fuel being transported gets shut down that powers them.
But see,
you want candles, you want heat sources, like you said with the land.
Yep.
You want the ability to light a fire and sustain.
Well, see, that's one. That's one. The other one, and this is what I was talking about, is supposedly there is a push through the government to have people employ more solar.
Sure.
Apparently, there's even a program where they will pay for most of it.
There's several programs where they will.
Yeah. Now, like I said, I haven't found them yet. When I find them, believe me, I will post a hoo-ha out of the link so everybody can see it. Because that is one of the things I firmly believe in, is getting solar panels the way our house right now sits. And what I will make sure is that the land is cleared enough for any house that I buy going forward, where we can put solar on and have a battery bank that will run things for a while. And there's apparently one of the programs that's on now is the solar panels will provide part of the power during the day and power up the battery bank system. And once every 4 or 5 days, the battery bank system turns the power company's power off, and you run off the battery for the house.
Yep.
For the system. Then it clicks back over and recharges again. So that way you're not overcharging the battery, and you're constantly keeping the battery running, which is amazing. It's fantastic.
Yeah, I've been watching what Randy's posting, and he's making Florida look better and better.
Well, I'm sure. I'm sure. Yeah, and
Florida's great until sea level rises enough to where Florida doesn't look like Florida anymore. And
yeah,
Hurricane Ian kind of showed us some of that, because the state, like the landscape of the state, I'm not talking about people's houses, I'm not talking about property loss. The actual state and the coastline itself was damaged from that massive storm.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Absolutely. The maps are not the same anymore, no matter what they're putting out there to you. Oh, no. No. There's a chunk that looks like Mike Tyson took a big old right hand down by Fort Myers and knocked out, insert whichever one of his greats that he KO'd here, right into the side of the state.
Oh, really? Wow.
The coastline is not the same. And
yeah, see, they're not showing any of that.
The largest disadvantage to living in Florida is sea level rise.
Yep.
Global warming. If it goes the way it's potentially projected to at some point, and I'm not talking conspiracy theories here, I'm just talking science. If sea level were to rise by 15 feet over however many years, half of Florida is underwater.
Yep.
California's the same way, though, isn't it?
No.
All coastal areas can be at risk for that.
Yeah, no.
Florida is, because it's just hanging down here where we're subjected to more hurricanes and rain weather events, sea level rise. Like, if you live in Oklahoma or inland from a coast by more than 3, 4, 5, 6 hours, you're not going to end up underwater. It's not going to happen that way. But the landscape will change at some point. Hopefully not in our lifetimes.
Well, and so that's part of the reason why I'm enjoying not the Rockies. They's a little too high for me.
The Appalachians?
The Blue Ridge.
Blue Ridge.
The Appalachians, yeah. The Blue Ridge and the Appalachians is high enough. We are literally 2 blocks away from the Shenandoah River. I can walk to it from here. No problem.
Beautiful.
However, I can tell you because of the topography, we would have to have a Noah-esque flood for that river to get to our house.
Yes. Yep, because of the variation in height with the topography. Yep.
So that's the thing. Unfortunately, since things started getting better economically during the tail end of the Obama administration, we have a number of people up here with the housing boom that have I guess little limited liability corporations that are trying to buy up every half acre they can get their hands on and slap a house on it.
Yep.
One of the reasons we got up here was because while there's a lot of people up here on the side of the mountain, you don't see it.
There's space between the homes. Oh yeah.
The closest one I got is my neighbor right down the street here. And you know, we don't even really halfway hear her because we're not in that side of the house most of the time. We got a neighbor behind us over here. We don't really hear them much. Neighbor across the street, I know when he opens and closes his garage door because my office window faces that way. And then our neighbor next door up here is across that separate lot that we've been working on clearing. So, you know, it's we got people around, but they're not right up my butt.
Exactly.
You know, so it's an easy thing. It's an easy thing. Yeah, Manassas Park used to be a really good place, Randy, until they decided to start cranking the bucks on it. Manassas Park was built for returning veterans from World War II. They built all the houses very similar to being almost identical and created Manassas Park for an overflow of returning war vets back then. And many of the families still own the properties down there. Many of the houses are still the original ones that were built in the late 40s and early 50s. You know, with all these folks. So it's an interesting place down there. I'm looking at this. We ran over 2 hours and didn't even know it. How about that? That's absolutely amazing. Now the one that worries me is you're talking about burying things here. Is down in Louisiana, in New Orleans, when they had what was the hurricane that went through? Katrina. There was word that a lot of the coffins floated out of the graveyards down there. Not something I want to be stepping outside of the the roof of my house, looking down, seeing a flotilla of coffins going to.
Tampa and St. Pete have a similar problem. Every time they go to build a new big office building or something, you know, city related or suburban, they end up doing X-ray topography maps of the land before they can approve for the permits, right? They're finding Native American and ancient burial grounds on half of these sites.
And I'm gonna tell you what, you don't honor those and you mess with those, you're going to end up with something like oh shit, what was the name of that movie? They're here. Anyhow, you disturb the spirits and they'll come at you. I can't believe it. What the hell was that?
Well, that's the other problem with Florida and with building is the water table here.
Yeah.
You can't go digging down to build a city like New York or Chicago or LA where it's 30, 40, 50 stories tall or whatever, because the water table is right there under the land.
Yeah.
So the problem that we encounter here locally from a topography standpoint is there's only so far up you can build.
Yeah.
Once you stop building vertically, you can only build horizontally. Well, there's only so much land.
Yep.
And it's been a thing. It's been a topic of discussion and debate here locally among city council, among code makers, all that jazz that goes into expanding urban sprawl, quote unquote, where at what point do we say we have to stop? And the sad part, personally, for me, like, I live well inland. I don't live anywhere near the coast. I have to go miles and miles and miles to get to a beach, to get to the water line in Tampa Bay. I'm in what I would call Eastern Hillsborough County. The problem is you can only build out so far, because if you go any further north, you run into the Ocala forest, which is federally protected forest land.
Yeah, I was saying that a national park, yeah.
Type of thing. It's a national park.
Yeah.
You know, like, at what point do you just have to say, look, we can't continue to accept 25, 30, 40,000 residents every year, 50,000 residents every single year, because we don't have the space to build horizontally or vertically if we want to protect this earth that we've been given.
Yep.
I can't do anything to fix it. I'm just saying, like, I see it as an issue, and I understand why they do things the way they do. And that's part of what leads me to being a little bit more self-sufficient. I'm not a doomsday prepper. I don't believe in necessarily doomsday, but you can kind of see things for the way they are. The more we overpopulate the planet, the shorter and shorter the resources get, and the harder and harder it becomes for humanity to coexist, survive, and fulfill our basic needs.
Yep. And but not to cut you off, but before she ditches out, good night, Elaine.
Good night, Sleepless. Take care. God bless you, hon.
Yeah, and I remember that, Randy, when Disney was looking at doing a history theme park. I personally would have loved to have seen it. For those of y'all that don't know, I also participate in Like Father, Like Sons history weekends. I'm not sure if we're even doing. We haven't really talked about it. I thought we were supposed to be doing the history of hemp and marijuana tomorrow.
Amanda said Chris wasn't feeling well earlier in chat.
I doubt very seriously. If Chris isn't feeling well, I'm willing to bet he's going to be up and out and doing runs tomorrow, and not available. So
totally not to put it on the family there and the friends there. I hope that show does happen at some point soon in the future.
Oh, we do. We plan on that. That's one we've talked about a lot. Is debating. Do we go into this? Is this one that it's kind of like when we talked about doing the show on the Manhattan Project. We debated it for a long time. Is it something that's going to get us in trouble? Do we dare go there? Can we present this the way that we want to do it, in depth, without getting ourselves in trouble? And I think we did a respectable job with it. And
absolutely,
it's been something that Scott and Chris and I have tinkered and discussed round and round and round. Good night, Randy. A lot of times, about how do we present something? What do we do? Where do we go? How do we go at it where we make the impact that we want to make, without getting ourselves in trouble or not being true to history, because all three of us absolutely love history. So I think this is one we can pull off. I don't have the answers on it yet.
I mean, as long as you're expressing opinions based on facts, in my opinion, if somebody doesn't appreciate that or like that, they can go elsewhere. You know what I mean?
Well, I don't.
You see what I'm saying there? I know there's touchy subjects in this idea of political correctness and blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. But when you're discussing something as it relates to history,
yeah,
under any circumstances, I don't care if it's war history, political history, family history, personal history, whatever you want to look at that as, you should be able to do that. We live in a society where the right to speak your mind and express and share those opinions are protected, or they're supposed to be. And I'll be the first to say, and forgive me for doing this here, but y'all got any more of them trolleys? Who the fuck died 1-800-CHAPO-23? You know, you guys should be able to express those opinions and present it, because coming from an honest perspective that you always try to give, people are going to hate, people are going to love it.
Yeah.
You ought to be able to do it with or without either of the other two, you know, determining factors in the background, because that's what we're here for. If we forget the history that we've come from, we're doing everybody and the earth, the orb that we live on, a great disservice. We're not sharing learning factors at that point. That to me, that's just wrong. You ought to be able to.
Misty and I have said a number of times, you know, there's been a lot of turmoil over the last year and a half within the YouTube communities, not just one, but in multiples, that you know has had people preying upon one another, you know, going after one another, whatnot. You know what? I will honestly say we personally have not had problems with anybody. Actually, no, it's not true. We've had problems with 2 individuals. Yeah, who will not be named, because we're not going to go into that. We're not starting. We don't do hate streams or any of the rest of that. But other than that, you know, we've had no problems with any one side or the other of warring factions or groups or anything else. And I'll say it. I've said it before. I'll say it again. Is we welcome anybody and everybody who wants to come into these lives and participate or watch. The only thing we won't do is we won't tolerate drama. We won't tolerate anybody coming in and starting anything. That and any of the adult spots are also going to get swatted. You know, faster than they can count. But other than that,
thanks for showing us some cute chicks. Wrong place, wrong time. Yeah,
exactly.
Oh yeah.
You know, we don't care. Everybody and anybody is welcome to participate. You know, just be cool. Come in and have a good time. Our 2 channels are ones we've always had set up as neutral ground, where anybody and everybody can always come in and be welcome. You know, as long as they're respectful and they behave themselves.
Yeah.
I would add to that, you do it from the heart.
Yeah.
And what that means is check it out. You might learn something cool that you never thought of before.
Yep. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, I'm agreeing with you guys.
Oh, okay. I thought you were starting to say something when we were cutting you off. Sorry.
No.
So
I will say one thing totally off topic. That peppermint mocha creamer that you bought, it's yummy.
See?
See? Y'all just learned something.
Misty knows. This is a quick story, and then I'm going to wrap it up because we're well past the 2-hour mark, and I know everybody's got better places to be at 10 o'clock, you know, after 10 o'clock on a Saturday. And if you haven't got better places, but Misty fell in love with, shortly after we moved up here, the Girl Scouts used to create a creamer that was based off of their Thin Mints recipe. And it was, I have to admit, I'm a Thin Mint fan, but I'm not a fan of most of the flavored creamers. But it was decent. It was decent. Hooked her like a catfish on a corn dog. And she, every time she would find it, she would buy a couple of them. Well, what, about 4 years ago?
Yeah, they quit making it.
And she's not been able to find anything that's been minty since that she liked. Trust me, I tried the Irish cream one. Didn't go over well.
I can help you with that, maybe.
I like it with a shot of whiskey, but
yeah,
that was about it.
Try a scoop of Breyer's mint chocolate chip ice cream in your coffee.
All right.
That's a
That
thought.
sounds intriguing.
It's close. It's not creamer, but it's close.
Yep. Hey, Cheesecake. Cheesecake's coming in right at the end here. You have taken over Chuck's old spot, hon. How you doing?
Good evening.
A Gouda evening.
May the cheeses be with you always.
That's
and
right.
your cooking be grand.
There you go. Fromage for everyone. So I found this peppermint mocha. I forget who makes it. And I brought it home, and she looked at it, and she made a sour face. Went, no. Maybe it's Breyer's. I don't know, Mary, to be honest. But she tried it. Apparently, she just tried it tonight, and it has worked. So
there's also Coffee Mate Cinnamon Toast Crunch flavored creamer.
Dude, don't go there.
With that, thanks for having me. I'm going to step away. I tried it one time, and I don't want to be responsible for any aftermath if it can't be found.
Look, I have learned, it may be overpriced, but I have learned you can get stuff on Amazon. For example, Slim Jim. Any of you that are into spicy and Slim Jim, okay, you'll know that they've got the habanero, they got a Tabasco, they got a this, that, and the other. They're all kind of disappointing. Was out at my chiropractor's office, stopped at the 7-Eleven to gas up because I wasn't sure I was going to make it home. Stepped inside because it was cold and saw, they had one left, and it was the small ones, not the monsters. It was a Slim Jim that said, and I quote, "It was hot AF." And I looked at this and I went, you know what? All right, there's one left. I'll try it. But it's going to be disappointing. I'm going to tell you what. I got home. I took a bite off of it and went, wow. Cut it in half and went down and gave the other half to Sheriff, who had already had it and tried it. And he's like, yeah, they're a bitch to find. And I'm like, no, I will find it on Amazon, and I'll have them ship a case of it in. And he's like, you're going to order these?
When is Sheriff going to make some damn Carolina Reaper sauce venison jerky and mass market it to the public?
Yeah. I would definitely do that. That's one of the things actually we talked about with our dehydrator is doing different flavors and trying to come up with beef jerky, because if you put one of those saver packs in before you vacuum pack it, you can actually leave it sitting there for 5-10 years.
Nice.
So I'm like, I can do bacon jerky. Think about a
Tabasco scorpion flavored bacon jerky.
I would say think about a habanero maple bacon jerky.
Oh, stop. Habanero candied bacon jerky. Oh, no.
Ooh,
oh,
Jim,
no.
You get the heat, and you get the sweet. All at once. It's a good thing. Yeah.
You realize you're totally screwing up the diet, right? Or the seafood diet right now, right?
No, I'm not. Not at all.
I'm going to have to stop and order pizza.
I see food and I eat it. That's the seafood diet.
Will do, Mary.
We will, Mary. Yep, absolutely. And for those of you that know Sheriff, I send him the link every time. He has all but retired. I have high hopes we'll get him at least back in the chats. But he has all but retired from YouTube, based on a lot of the crap that's gone on over the last year and something. He's just it's not fun. It's not fun for him anymore.
We're going to have a talk about fixing that secretly for the spring fling.
I hope so. I hope so. So
somebody's got to have a secret camera on that grill.
Which reminds me, speaking of which, I do need to announce there will be a very special Country Comfort Misty Mountain show next Sunday.
Oh shit.
Everybody be there. It's going out. I am going to put a very special video out. Haven't decided on what it's going to be yet, but I absolutely promise you it will be a phenomenal mic drop food porn video, because that is also Misty's birthday. So anybody who is here, please spread it around. We want to try to get at least 50, 60 people in the chat, because she has made me not celebrate her birthday for years. And COVID and Zoom and StreamYard have given me the media where I can look back at her and go, I love you, but
So 8 days, 1 week from tomorrow.
yes, sir.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yes, share it, please share it out throughout the community.
Beautiful.
Last year, Sheriff and I did, and Misty didn't even have a clue until we got in there, and we got about 6 or 7 people on panel singing happy birthday to her.
Mary says she's wanting a link next Sunday.
Oh, you got it. You know you will be there for that, hon. Absolutely.
Let's do it.
I know I'm going to live to regret this.
I'm going to even try to get Danny up on panel.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Who, by the way, did come up on panel for your birthday last year, if you remember.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. So, yeah. So please share it out all over the place. And not so much for my channel. We want to make this celebration for Misty's birthday big time. And Mary, I got to know, you got to send me when yours is. For whatever reason, I'm not getting my notifications on Facebook as to when whose birthday is what. So if you give it to me, I promise you we will not miss it this year. But you will have to be up on panel, and it means you'll have to be on camera.
Uh-huh.
Just like Misty's going to be, and she don't know it, but she's going to be.
It's a party, it's a party, it's a party. Hooray!
That's right. List birthdays up there, and we'll get them in there. All right, you guys. Hey, listen, thank you, everybody, for showing up, for coming around. Again, I know there's lots of places you can.
So does that mean we're skipping next Saturday if you're doing it Sunday?
No.
Oh, you're doing 2? Okay.
I'm doing 2. Yep. I said next Sunday is a special show.
Okay.
We're gonna go for
Can everybody hear the overwhelming enthusiasm in my voice?
It's okay. Wait till we have the second tequila sunrise in her. She won't have a problem with any of it.
There's a reason why the spirits were quiet tonight, because they know something big is coming, and it's going to be awesome.
We gonna raise the roof. So, all right. Thank you guys for coming out. I know you got places you could be on Saturdays to come out and spend time here. It touches me very much. Thank you. I appreciate it. You guys are why I keep doing this. I want to make sure we get families back together. We teach our kids how to cook. We get people back into the habit of remembering that it ain't hard to cook. You don't have to have a chef's degree or experience in a restaurant. You can make good quality food, comfort or otherwise, for anybody, whether you're male, female, kid, adult, whatever. And being in here, we can voice our opinions. We can talk to one another. We can have a great time, and we don't have to worry about taking a COVID test the next morning. So y'all have a wonderful evening. You have a great weekend. For those of you that are off for Martin Luther King Day on Monday, enjoy that third day and the long weekend. We will see you this time next weekend with some new food dishes for you. Thank you very much for coming, everybody.
Have a good week, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Cheers. Thanks for the food porn. God bless you all.